All right. I think. Wait. Test. Yep. Okay. I think that I've got it working. What I'm gonna do here is I turn off the screen record audio, so you guys are just gonna listen to it through my mic. All right. Let's get going.
I wonder if it did any damage, but it's hard to tell because it's just like who I ended up being. So like you don't really know if there's damage.
I always think about that as well. I feel like smoking a lot of Zaza honestly makes you smarter over the long term because you always come to some crossroads. You know, I think you made a video a while back talking about like when you quit for a little bit. That period when you stopped, you probably like had some sort of enlightenment.
When you quit, you get like a new high. You haven't been sober in so long that it feels like you're high.
And that's why I started using the Quitting Weed app. So that would be an example of, a place where content about smoking too much weed is very popular. And so I'm sure that there are quitting weed apps that already exist, but like anytime I watch a piece of content like that, I'm like, what's the hook at the very end where you plug in some piece of software? Colin, actually very cool. And then Daddy Wellness guy interviewing him. I'm going on his podcast in a few days. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at this. There you could probably like when I look at that, I'm thinking like, okay, in the bio. So this is from a creator who like he probably sells his own course or whatever, but this sort of content often does well. I'm like, okay, in the bio there, you could have some sort of call to action of like, so I know Sebastian George who runs this, this can, I guess, somewhat consumer, somewhat B2B app where you can create automatic Shopify templates, right? This is promoting e-commerce. You have in the caption, like go download or integrate this Chrome extension or whatever sort of form factor the app takes. You could easily integrate that right here.
Summer 25 batch.
Yeah.
Acne, pimples, dry skin, red spots, we've all dealt with some version of it, and most dermatologists are going to give you a topical fix. While it does help treat the issue, it doesn't actually solve it. Trust me, I'd know with all my skincare videos. In reality, the core problem lies in your diet, and that's why I'm launching a new supplement called Be Clear. Right now, we're in formula testing, and I want your input before I lock it in. Do you guys prefer a powder that you can mix in a drink or a daily pill? And would you want to just target breakouts or also focus on dryness, redness, and overall glow? I can always include skin-supporting antioxidants like vitamin C, zinc for healing.
So this is part of the looks maxing niche talking about skincare. I think that there's actually an app that's been doing pretty well recently called Prove It, where you can scan supplements and see how high quality they are. And so this is obviously, this is from Kay Shami, Ascend Laboratories, his new brand doing supplements. But, here I would probably like, this content obviously does well and traditionally has been doing well for a while, which content, in the looks maxing niche, get better skin, whatever. So something in the range of like maybe a cross between like a Cal AI X sort of Prove It / Yuka supplement or Yuka food scanner, where you have an application where you take a picture of food specifically designed for people with bad skin, or even like looks maxing, right? Where you scan supplements, scan the food that you're eating, and then get exercise recommendations to help you become more attractive. Let's keep going. So trading apps are becoming somewhat popular, sort of like chart analysis and whatnot. So any sort of account, anytime I see an account like this, if you're looking for an idea, you can find the sort of niche, which is like trading / fintech advice, and then work backwards. And you're like, okay, what are the problems that these people face? So you could pretty easily build a product that provides like history and context on different coins, stocks, whatever it may be, before you trade and actually purchase. Now, I don't know whether or not you would need to offer trading for that product to work as well, but just an idea. As you can see, my content's very, very much so like, bro, fitness entrepreneur.
You earn money by rating AI responses. And it's all thanks to a tool that gives you free access to over 500 of the world's best AI models, and it actually pays you to use them. It's called Yup AI. It lets you compare results from models like ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini all in one place. You just give it a prompt, and when you compare and rate the different AI responses, you get credits that can be redeemed for actual real cash. So not only is it completely free, but you also get to use top AI models like Grok and Gemini at the same time, while earning up to $50 a month just for giving your feedback. Want to try it for yourself? Just comment Yup and I'll send you the.
This is interesting. I mean, another example of a very quickly rising industry to build around. We go back to the sort of like course case studies, success. Like AI, from what I've seen, the AI tools that do best are, or rather I should say the like learn to use AI style tools that do best are ones that are in the mix of sort of career progression / education. Now this one, this guy is a great example of a creator that you can kind of build around. So I think that's pretty interesting. Let's see that.
This is the best fucking time ever to start a company. But part of the reason it's the best is because the ground is shaking. And it's true. There are a lot of...
All right, this messaging. Another good framework here. Find messaging that is becoming increasingly popular on social media and then work backwards from there to like what's the idea that you build around it, or what's the product that you build around that. So this was one of my plans with 10X. Unfortunately, I just don't think 10X had the correct product UX, as well as there were other sort of a few extraneous variables that made that company hard to scale. But you can see that anything about sort of like AI tools gets people up in arms. This person commented, misused AI skills are dangerous for humanity. This person's talking about how the AI tools are good for himself. Don't worry, there's nothing left for us to do. So fear mongering within the AI niche, like AI is going to take your job, figure out how to build a tool to prevent that from happening, or to help the person take other people's jobs even, right? That's like these N8N agents, which are like create these workflow automations to kind of outsource and displace traditional human labor. Okay, I've got an idea actually. I think I've mentioned this idea in the past. Nobody has really executed on it. I gotta blur that. You guys can't see what I'm looking at. Okay, this guy has been ripping recently. A good sign that a creator is doing really well as they are operating within an up and coming space, becoming increasingly popular, is when they generate a lot of views relative to their followers. 60,000 followers on Instagram doing a couple 100,000 views a video is extremely impressive. Now, this guy, Androgenic, I think that's it, Androgenic, one of those two. He talks about steroids. Okay, so let's watch one of these videos. I can't. Volume. What the fuck? Let me make this a little bit smaller real quick so I can turn on volume.
Antagonistic pleiotropy. This term is used to describe a gene that is advantageous in early life and disadvantageous in late life, or vice versa. How this relates to being natural or enhanced is that most gene variants only provide an advantage either early or late in life, not both. For example, longevity genes such as FOXO3 and SERT1 will reduce...
Okay. I'm not going to spend too much time watching this, but I'll give you guys the background on this rising industry. It's funny, I somewhat experienced this myself in seeing it firsthand in high school. About half of my friends took steroids. Now, what are the big macro factors at play here? Male testosterone is rapidly decreasing, or has been rapidly decreasing over the past century. due to things like microplastics, low food quality, contaminated water, amongst other things. Now, a high proportion of people are pushing back against this by taking steroids. Another sort of tailwind here is people more than ever want to be and feel, I should say, guys more than ever want to be and to feel masculine. So how do we build a product around this? Well, one, there's a lot of opportunity, I think, for building a product that helps people take steroids and provides advice to help them do it more safely. I personally don't want to be on the end of pushing and making steroids more accessible. I would not encourage that individuals build that, but there is opportunity there. Now, when I see one of these niches, this is kind of what I did with looks maxing. I'm like, okay, this is the tailwind. How do we build a product around this that pushes people in a positive direction? So I think that there's massive opportunity to build a product that helps people naturally maximize their testosterone. You have them input what they are currently doing, exercise, nutrition, sleep, whatever it may be. And then you develop a custom routine as well as habit tracking for them to help them increase their testosterone. I would do this somewhat in the range of like Umax / these daily habit trackers, / like maybe like the inverse of Quitter, where you have like it's all about your sort of like streak, where Quitter is all about like staying away from porn. This could be all about, I guess this is just what habit trackers are, but keeping your streak of engaging in these testosterone optimization practices. Now, even beyond that, I think that there's a lot of opportunity to build a holistic health optimizer. So as you can see, like when I go through Reels, it's not overly structured. I'm just going through, using this to get my creative juices flowing. And even like with that guy Androgenic, I had seen that he was garnering a really a massive cult-like, or I shouldn't say massive, but a very strong cult-like following on social media. And then I kind of start to work backwards, right? You identify the things that people are interested in, and then you can kind of work backwards and figure out, okay, what they're interested in this because they have this subset of problems. Now, how can I solve that inside a consumer application? All right, that should be good for Instagram. Let's move on over to TikTok.
That as soon as the bar slows down, 1 or 2 reps later, it falls on you. Correct. Yeah. It always surprises people because I'll be like, looking like it's the easiest way in the world. And the moment I struggle, it's stuck. That's because you have a higher proportion of fast twitch muscle fibers than the average person, which is why you could be elite in the NFL. It means that your fibers rate of fatigue.
All right, this is TNF, head of, essentially the leader of hypertrophy maximization TikTok. Building more muscle, right? He is the key opinion leader. Very intelligent guy. If you go back to I think it was it's fucking one of these earlier lessons, I spoke about the idea that I had and started to build about a workout optimization application. I think that there is massive opportunity there. Nobody's got it right. If you deeply understand weightlifting and hypertrophy maximization, and you can actually develop, and you also have to have relatively extensive ML knowledge here. You can build an extremely effective recommendation product. ChatGPT will absolutely not suffice, but AI models could help with the data labeling side of things, which is non-trivial for something like this. By the way, by data labeling, I'm referring to essentially like the values that you assign to the different variables that correspond to each individual lift, right? So for bench, I might assign 1.0 hypertrophic stimulus to my chest, and maybe 0.5 to my front delts and 0.5 to my triceps, and then the overall fatigue load out of 10 might be an 8, right? Maybe 7. Whereas squat, right, it's going to be largely quads, glutes, and some hamstrings, and then fatigue load might be 9 or 10. And then tricep extension, tricep stimulus would be a 1.0, and then 1 out of 1, and then the fatigue stimulus would be somewhere in the range of like a 4, 3, whatever. So, okay, onward.
Now, based off of the sheer amount of people who told me to watch it,
Another killer idea. Nick Fuentes, absolutely fucking ripping right now. He's taking over. I mean, honestly, like short form, like political right content, whatever. On the flip side, you've got guys like, I don't know, like Dean Withers, maybe Harry fucking something Sisson. I don't know anyone that's built a popular single player AI politics app. Massive opportunity there, right? I briefly built a software that I just built like the back end skeleton where I scraped the RSS feeds of all the popular news websites, and I would generate unbiased reports based on the most controversial popular stories. Now you could build an AI app that does something like that, feeds people. You know, you'd have to do it in a legal way. I don't think that was actually, would not have been legal if I commercialized that. So do your own legal research. But then maybe you have that, and you have like a different personality, political test, that sort of thing.
and then the amount of people who told me not.
Oh, hi there. My name's Aaron Hell, and I'm the guy.
Everything in my head. I want you. I want this.
I don't really know what's going on here. I don't know why there are women on my For You page.
Doesn't my therapist help me realize?
Well, I think it's more nature than people would like to.
No matter how rich I get, there is one thing I will.
Shout out Jimmy, that's my boy.
There's this place called Super Honey District.
This individual was
Alex Eubank. We love Alex. Alex is a Cali Eye influencer.
like, do you go every Sunday? Okay, so you're like,
Man, get that Billy.
I don't know why there's all this Nick Fuentes on my For You page. I love Jewish people. If anyone is gonna, get mad about that, although I do think Nick is an interesting guy, and I like listening to him.
Not a touchdown.
Damn.
hey, honey, why don't we just go get some funnel cakes?
No funnel cakes, bear.
Not a touchdown.
You don't have to be the.
I got a job with.
It's not the shower. It's not the shower. It's not the fucking shower. It's not. Yes, it is. Look at the leak in the fucking light.
Guys, the ceiling is leaking. Where's it coming from? Where?
Oh,
Wait.
my God.
Oh my god.
No, it's no. Guys, the ceiling's about.
Diabolical things I want in a man. Number 1, height. My man's gotta be above 6'2". My last 2 boyfriends were 6'3". Both of them. And they were jacked. And they looked really good. How am I supposed to downgrade from that? So, unfortunately, my next man will have to be 6'2" and up. Number 2, you can't have a gut. I need you built.
All right. You ready? Number 2, I need you to be fit. Blah 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 blah. Number 3. Number 3, he needs to be emotionally intelligent. My friend literally just sent me this app where you can actually do like emotional intelligence tests with your boyfriend without them even realizing that it's an emotional intelligence test. But you see, like, that's a good fucking hook, Find the content, figure out how to build a product around it. Like, this shit always rips. Girls just fucking meh. I love girls, don't get me wrong. But find girl content, meh, and then insert the product in number 3. I'm sure they'll speak about this in distribution, but there are like hard, strong hooks where you want to hit first couple seconds of the video. And then there are, more natural hooks where you draw the person in and they don't even realize what's going on. It's a fish. You cast the line. Fucking fish gets the worm. He's like, oh, shit. I'm chilling. Like, I'm eating good. And you start pulling him in. He's like, wait, what's going on here? He doesn't really know what the fuck's up. And then you fucking hook him. You go, pew, right? That's what you do with these videos. You get them going. And then you integrate the the promo. So that's one
I
style.
need you fit and going to the gym multiple times a week. I'm sorry, like I'm just not gonna date a fat guy. If I have a salary cap to make corporate, what is your 100K salary? No, we're good. I need you in a career that is
I'm just still watching this because I want to see if there's a
going to make
a
us
plug.
money. I am a lover of luxury. I like expensive things. I like expensive vacations. So will you if you're my man. So we need a career that can support that. Number 4, whenever we travel, he's got to be flying his business. The other, again, salary. I'm not really impressed when I hear something really eat or a Patek.
Okay, there's no product plug there. I don't know why there are girls shaking ass on my For You page. We
The
don't
bed that made me
watch
ditch
that.
my 2000.
Welcome to the world.
You put faith in humans.
Yes, I
If the real reason for the current state of black communities is
Stop buying corn.
Lately I've been feeling brainwashed like I saw the.
Do you think you look older than 19? Yes. Yeah. And do you think testosterone?
This is Clavicular, friends with the guy that I mentioned earlier, Androgenic, and Santa Cruz Medicinals. Santa Cruz and I used to be friends. He's mad at me now because I think that he thinks I was talking shit. I wasn't, but you know, it's all right. Anyways, Clavicular is also part of the whole androgenic, like teenage testosterone optimization movement. Once again, I'm not a fan of, or he does steroids specifically and pushes steroids to teenagers. I don't fuck with pushing steroids to people, but what I do fuck with is helping people get healthier. So he would be another good guy to consume his content if you want to understand this sort of like new wave. You know, it's almost like an offshoot of looks maxing into hormone optimization.
I might be able to play a role in that.
I got slut shamed by.
This is a fire fucking ad.
I got slut shamed by a group.
it's a shame. I really do.
Dear basketball, from the moment I started rolling my dick.
Yo, there they are together. The two guys that I mentioned, clavicular and androgenic. That's hilarious.
If you are thinking of working with that
Zen and
I just checked, and apparently the Ironman World Championship is 33 days away.
Endurance training application. In my understanding, most of these apps are like individual right now or fragmented. So you got like Strava, obviously for planning your runs, whereas you know, Runna helps you with run training plans. I'm uncertain of the state of this, but I currently use ChatGPT to plan my Ironman training. Honestly, we'll see if I have enough time to actually put towards it. It's in about 3 months now. But Luke Hoplife, awesome dude. You know, Ironman training, hybrid athlete, influencer guy. A lot of opportunity to build a hybrid training application and market it with guys like him.
Clean your
All right, that shit's crazy, bro.
I think I've told you guys before that sometimes you get emergent capabilities in large language models. It's one of their signature things. Translation was an emergent capability in large language models. We didn't know how they could translate.
Emergence is like one of the most interesting concepts
They just
in the
reached a
world.
certain scale and they had enough language data and they just could do it very, very, very well. Now we have a new emergent capability. This is in images and movies. VEO3, VEO3
What up, pussy?
can take annotations that you draw onto an image.
Yeah, you can use mine later. I'm filming, by the way. Say hi.
What up, boys?
Alright, this guy's too fucking boring. But like AI creators, always interesting dudes to work with.
Your competitor.
Alright. Yeah, fuck it. We'll end on that. End on some hot girl doing some shit. Okay. That's probably enough of me scrolling. I'd encourage, and I think that there will be an assignment about this, scroll through, come up with ideas as you scroll. For me, it's obviously like my For You page and the ideas that I think of are very confined within the realm of self-improvement, right? This is just me. This is who I am. I'm sure every individual watching this has different things that they deeply understand and deeply care about. For some of y'all, it might be teaching people how to code and making a new wave AI coding tutor that you can use on your phone in your free time for teenagers. For other people, you know, it might be female mental health. I don't know what the things that you care about are, the things that you have particular interest in, but use social media to identify the content that is already doing well. And then once you have your idea, which I didn't do here, but if you have a specific idea in mind, then curate your entire For You page around that if it is not already curated around it. This is very, 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 very important. As you come to the conclusion of your idea, if your For You page is not already all that content, it should consume your entire For You page. Right now, you see, like I have a little bit of random looks maxing stuff here and there because that was a big part of my life in the past. But when I was building UMax, every single fucking video, every single one was looks maxing content. When I was building Riz GPT, every single piece of content was Riz content. When I was building Cal AI in the early days, every single piece of content was calorie tracking content. So either curate your current For You pages to hit it or create new accounts to build around it. All right, that's enough for this lesson. In the next lesson, we will go over Reddit and X.com.